Boom! We're live. We are live. I am going to talk about hard work and dedication. If anybody just saw Asian Mai, he just got done going live, and I'll tell you what, man, uh, it brought me some inspiration watching that guy. Um, I don't know if you caught it. Go back and watch it. Um, what he was talking about was bringing his brand to truck stops, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that he's in truck stops, he's selling his merch in truck stops. I'm supporting him tonight. Once again, go watch the Asian My Show's live feed. Hopefully, it's already uploaded to see the smile on that guy's face. And I do not know this man at all. I just watch his videos. I do know people that talk to him and stuff like that. But yeah, just watching Asian Mai right now, man. Alex, holy crap. If that doesn't like inspire you to work hard and dedicate your life to something for the possibility of, whatever it is, his goal is to bring his merch, his passion into truck stops. And you know what? He just said on his live feed that he's in 100 truck stops and independent chains, which is absolutely amazing. I was inspired watching that live that he just got done doing, and I thought I would go live because I'm energized. He energized me when I was sitting in my bunk. Um, Man, that was so cool to see. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, go check out Asian Mai's live that he just did about bringing his merch to the truck stop. Actually, it was like a chrome shop. Absolutely fantastic. And like I said, it inspired me. And I think if you have kind of followed him, you see his path a little bit. He has no problem sharing his story about hauling furniture when he was a kid with his uncle, to doing it for himself, to trying to get into other types of businesses and getting his hands kind of in a lot of trucking style businesses. And just watching him blow up is awesome. Um, yeah, go ahead, DIY, leave and go watch him because it was super cool. Um, are you going to drive today? No, I'm not going to drive for a while. Good evening, Vic Med. How you doing, man? Yeah, Alex is the man. That was so cool to see. Um, Sorry to get to a couple of these comments here. Cattle hauling, how's it going, man? You want to do a live cattle hauling? I know you're not big on cameras, but I would love to talk to you. Um, Truck's running good, Vic Med. We're back making money, which is good. But yeah, like I said, this trucking life. Hey, how's it going? I watched your video earlier. And real quick, you went live today, but it was set to private. So I don't know if that was a mistake, but I tried catching two of your videos and they're private. And I think both of them were live shows. But yeah, that Asian Mai, man, I love that guy's charisma. You know what I mean? Like, just like I said, just watching that live, he had this big smile on his face. He is so damn humble. Like, that's what I find amazing, is how humble of a guy he is. I mean, we've all seen his videos where he's in his vet and stuff like that, but he is the first one to tell you, like, don't go and waste your money on these things. You know what I mean? Build up to a level to where you're able to do that, but like, don't waste your money on something like this. I remember probably about a year ago, I watched a video where he talked about his Corvette and his truck and which one is like more valuable. And at the time, it was his truck, because it generated him money. But yeah, I just wanted to go live because that guy, like, kind of inspired me. And actually, what I want to do here, I'm probably gonna like disconnect this, is I'm gonna open this up tonight. Let's kind of have a live stream that if you want to join in, I'm gonna try and keep it to a couple of people, and then we'll just cycle through people. What are your goals? Like, I want to hear like people's goals and dreams. I'll share mine real quick before I go through this process. Um, I have been trucking forever. Thanks, but going to okay, no problem. Cattle hauling. I would just like to talk to you one day and do a live show with you. Um, but I've been in trucking over 20 years. It's something that's in my blood right now. I know it's a very weird market that we're in with fuel, everything going on in the world. So it might not be the greatest like business idea, but I want to grow. I want to grow. I might grow within a carrier. I don't really know if I have interest in going and getting my own authority or anything like that. I would like to grow within a carrier. That way, I feel a little bit protected on things. And then I want to transition into doing more real estate stuff. That would be my ultimate goal: is owning properties, developing those properties, or owning a bunch of like vacation style properties throughout the country. I would like to start in like northern Minnesota and northern Iowa, northern Wisconsin. Some of the most beautiful country, and I'm not like we can argue about those things, I guess, but like northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin are absolutely beautiful. And if you're an outdoorsman and like to fish, hunt, snowmobile, ATV, like it's great areas. And that would be one of my big goals is kind of developing like a vacation style property rentals in those areas. My first goal is to kind of start a little trucking company, bigger than one man. I would like to have, I would like to have like 3 trucks, maybe 4. We'll see. But hey, stay patient here. I'm going to try something. I don't know how it's going to work. If we all get disconnected, I'll come back in a minute. So I think I just did that. I think I posted the link to StreamYard. Um, so yeah, if you want to come in, let's kind of talk. I'm not gonna invite, or I'm not gonna like have a bunch of people come in at once. Maybe keep it to 2 people, and then we'll kind of cycle through them. But let's talk about like our ambitions, our dreams. Um, like I said, watching Asian Mai go live talking about getting his merch into truck stops, like really ignited that like that fire, you know what I mean? Like he seemed so happy for what he has accomplished. It was super cool to see. Um, hey, good evening, Nomadic Brit. Starting work at midnight. I'll get some sleep. Big Dog Trucker 68. Hey, hey. But yeah, I just watching his live for the couple of minutes he went live was really cool. It inspired me. It made me think of things that I want to accomplish and not to give up on those things. Not to um like get rid of the passion. I kind of have that problem, to be honest, is I get excited about things and I'll think about them, I'll overanalyze certain things, and then that desire or fire kind of burns out. Um, and just watching him right now kind of reignited that, which I think is super cool. And I'm super, like I said, I don't know this gentleman at all. I mean, we watch his videos, I watch his videos. It's hard not to when you're subscribed to a channel and, you know, 4 or 5 videos are recommended to you every couple of hours. You know what I mean? So he obviously puts in tons of work. Here's the thing I find funny. I bet that guy worked as hard at moving furniture and being a mover as he does on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because people don't get to where they are. And I'm not, like the success that he's having right now in his life and has had in his life, he doesn't get there by like not working hard. You know what I mean? Like he probably busted his ass as hard as he busts his ass now, and he probably even works harder now, to be honest, with all the things he's got his hands into. It's super, for me, it is very inspiring, very, very inspiring. And I think anybody that has desires and has dreams should never give up on them. That sounds weird because the older we get, we feel like the dreams that we have like are not attainable. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's because we just get kind of consumed by our day-to-day lives and we don't continue to look forward. We kind of stay stagnant at where we're at. I know, at least for me, that's what I do in my life. I would, like I said, I dropped the link. Come on in here. I'd love to hear your dreams. You know what I mean? Maybe, never know what can come from freaking YouTube. Just look at Asian Mai right now. I mean, that came from YouTube. Anything's possible. So let's talk about it. Let's see if maybe somebody's got the next brilliant idea, you know what I mean, and needs a little push to like create it. Well, we can be here to push. We can be here to help push you. You know what I mean? I don't got many people in here tonight. That's all right. If one person stops in, maybe two, we can have a discussion. But yeah, I'm kind of laying low today. I'm on a load that doesn't deliver until tomorrow at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like 145 miles away from there. It's currently 8:30 where I am, so Central Time at 7:30. I don't want to drive through Chicago at this hour. I'm going to wait a while and I'll probably leave in the morning, like early morning, like midnight. And that way I can get through Chicago and hopefully find a parking spot up where I delivered to in Wisconsin. But it's been a slow roll. Like I drove maybe an hour and a half today, and then stopped to watch Cash is King when Cash is King went live, and I haven't left that parking spot. I have horrible cell service, so like I'm trying to watch a movie and I can't watch a movie, and all of a sudden I get an alert and it's Asian Mai and he's live, and it's like, okay, let's click on this, because I never really see him go live that often. So watching him live was really cool. And like I said, seeing somebody's like smile and honest to God, like his humbleness, like he's so humble. That's what I find very interesting. Is somebody like that's kind of at his stature in YouTube trucking, to be as humble as he is remarkable. You know what I mean? And a couple of us super chatted him. I did because I wanted him to keep going live. I wanted him to stay going live and not end the stream. And he literally was saying, like, stop sending me things. Don't send me things. I don't want anything. Like, you don't hear that very much on YouTube. You know what I mean? And it's cool. I don't want to overstate it, but I feel inspired by watching his live. And once again, I'm talking about Asian Mai. That's why I'm supporting him tonight. That's why I got his hat on. He inspired me to do this live right now. And I dropped the link. I hope somebody comes in here. Let's talk about what dream do you have that you want to get out of trucking? You know what I mean? Right now, especially, I mean, even company guys are making a ton of money. Why not put that money to work for us in other ventures? You know what I mean? Cash is King talks about that all the time. He talks about, like, this is not his end game. He talks about moving into other things. If you listen to DIY semis money talk. Um, he talks about how he saves money. I think he shared he's got a rental property. Like, I look at people that have been in this industry a long time and I take their advice to help me with what I'm doing right now. Um, but I also listen to what they say in the sense of like this is not their end game. They want bigger and better. And not that trucking or like they don't want better than trucking, they just probably want to be home a little bit more. You know what I mean? They don't want their life 100% of the time spent on the road. Um, I still love being on the road. Being away from my family is difficult, but I still absolutely love what I do. And the fact that I'm enjoying it right now is wonderful, but I also want to think of, okay, what's the next step? What's the next level? Cattle hauling. Oh, Josh. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Josh. How you doing? Cattle hauling says, great video giving the ice cream to the food pantry. Yes, that was actually fun. That's going to put a big smile on many faces. I hope so. And I'll tell you what, if you watch that video made a couple of days ago, Pastor Todd, talk about a guy that like was all smiles and laughing and like grateful. The funny thing is I was more grateful that he was taking the product. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I was doing really any of a service to him. He was doing me a huge service. What a great guy though. And actually we've stayed in contact. We've texted a couple of times. Um, I'm not like a real spiritual person. Uh, and it's been brought to my attention that maybe I should incorporate something like that into my life. Um, and I've texted him and been honest with him about like where I kind of am spiritually, and he's given me some guidance, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I appreciate you liked the video, cattle hauling. It was fun to make, fun time actually. How like laughter is awesome. You know what I mean? Like laughter can take you out of your frustration, your stress, your sadness, your anger, whatever it is. And I was pretty upset that I had that pallet on my truck. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. Um, and then to hear his laughter and tell me, hey, you're going to put a smile on a kid's face. Like he told me that. And where this place was located is not in like the greatest part of town. So I know that this place is really helping people. So it was cool to see. Um, and if you watch that video again, watch it, watch the whole thing because that helps me. But go to the end where I do my closing and you hear him in the background just cracking up, which was awesome. Yeah, I was hoping somebody would come in here, man. Let's talk about your dreams. Let's talk about your passions. Um, Sometimes we like to like destroy people's dreams. You know what I mean? Like we try and talk them out of it. I got a friend that when I was telling him I was going to become an owner operator, he had been an owner operator for like 20 years or something like that, and then was a diesel mechanic. He was a mechanic at the company I worked for. And I was telling him, hey, I'm going to become an owner operator, this and that. And the joke that me and this other guy made is he's the dream crusher. He told me everything negative about trucking, that I was a fool for thinking about doing this, and just he was a dream crusher. And I love the dude. I talked to him the other day. Um, Still very like, oh, you're still in the honeymoon phase, blah blah blah, which he's right. But he was a dream crusher, and I get he was trying to prepare me for worst case scenarios. I understand that and I respect him for that. But sometimes you should do that in a way that doesn't crush somebody's dreams. And you know what? Watching Asia Mai tonight, that's what I took away from it. That anything is possible. Um, I I was inspired by watching his charisma tonight. You know what I mean? Um, we're we I watch a lot of YouTube. A lot of YouTube right now is full of drama. It's full of fuel prices, rates going down, brokers are a-holes. The list goes on and on about the negative things on Facebook. Unless you watch like cattle hauling, where he's loading up cattle and saying, "Hey, hey, hey." Um, and but a lot of things are negative right now, and especially in the world we live in right now. I get why things are negative, but sometimes you need that inspiration. Sometimes you need to watch that video that's like, yeah, I love what I do and my dreams are possible, you know? Um, so like I was saying, I would love to own a couple of trucks, have a couple of employees, or I've thought about purchasing some trucks, actually one, I shouldn't say some. I would like to purchase one truck and maybe help somebody with like a purchase deal that isn't predatory, that isn't gonna break them. That's just, hey, here's what you're gonna pay for the truck. This is how, this is how much it is. We'll say $65,000. Here's your monthly payment. You have, what, 3 years to pay it off. If you can have a payment under, $1,000 a month or something like that. I would like to I would like to do something like that, because that could turn into me being able to help another person. You know what I mean? Or have a couple of trucks and actually have a couple of employees. Um, and I shouldn't let that dream die. And watching Alex tonight really inspired me not to lose focus. And I think that's the key. Like, don't lose focus on your dreams. Don't lose don't lose that passion. It's okay to get discouraged now and then, but don't give up on it, because as this hat right now represents way more to me than it did when I got it. And what I mean by that is, every time I look at this hat now, I'm going to think of my dream, my passion, my desire to achieve what I want to achieve, and understand it's going to be hard and I'm going to hit roadblocks, but I'm not going to give up on it. I'm not going to give up on it. That's what this hat's going to represent from now on to me. And I have one person to thank for that, and that is Asia Mai. That's Alex, for the video he put out. I keep doing this because I like these rims. I'm not too used to like the flat rim, but it's definitely cool. Jerome Jones, big money. Hey, how's it going, man? How are you tonight? Um, Man, I got a truck that just turned its headlights on and it's like blinding me. I wish I had curtains that came across the front of my truck. I don't have those. I think I might install those. But yeah, somebody, I'm sure there's a link in the chat somewhere. Somebody hit that link. Let's talk about, share your dream. Whether it's you want to become a company truck driver, or you want to become an owner operator, or you want to, train horses. I met a person, um I don't want to share their name, but I met a person that owns a couple of horses, right? And this person works with like disabled children. And what this person does is, they are part of a school, and these kids that have disabilities get to ride horses, and get to like experience what it's like to be on a horse. And it's like a therapy to these kids. And the passion that this person has behind that is super cool. You know what I mean? It's something I could never do, but I'm glad that there's people out there that can do those sorts of things and give that smile to a kid. I saw pictures of these, I mean, they're mentally handicapped, some of them had other disabilities, and they have a smile on their face when they're on this horse. I mean, the joy that that person must feel is, and like worth, like this person is giving somebody life. You know what I mean? Not in sense like a god or anything, but like, people with some disabilities, like their life is very, very difficult. And if they can get on a horse and enjoy something, that's, I mean, I don't want to cry and get emotional, but that's huge. Um, okay, it's cattle hauling's wife. Cattle hauling and cattle hauling's wife. Cattle hauling's wife does, like I said, she works with disabled kids at a school and brings her horse to this school. It's part of a program. She has a couple of employees, but like I cattle hauling. What's the term she used? I can't think of it right now. I'm having a brain fart. But it's a therapy. It's basically horse therapy to these kids, and you know, I remember talking to her, and she was talking about her business and what she does, and that's remarkable. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here tonight. Is let's keep our dreams. Mechanic said it. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple. Jerome Jones, truck still down. Need to find another mechanic. Oh, bro, I've been there, man. That's very tough. Stay positive. Stay positive. If you're in a hotel room that has a bridge, don't jump off of it. Mechanic said it should be done tomorrow. Okay. Well, good. Hopefully it is done tomorrow. I'll tell you real quick. I had that same, like I had a problem with the mechanic shop I was at, and they called me 4 times and told me my truck was done. And then it never was. NDS 23, what's up, bro? How's it going? It's going good here. How are you doing? How's working with your dad? You guys still doing good? Grogo? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm enunciating that wrong. Hey, from Germany. Wow. Germany. So I went to Germany. Hey, thanks for watching from Germany. That's crazy. I went to Germany when I was a senior in high school. I went over to Germany and played hockey over there. Forget the towns we went to. I know we went to what's the big Munich? We went all over Germany and Italy, and what a fantastic area. Before I'm old and crippled, I'm gonna get back there. My wife wants to go back to Germany. Therapeutic riding. There you go, cattle hauling. Therapeutic riding. But yeah, somebody hit this link. Come on now. There's 8 of us in here. One of you's got a dream. One of you's got that desire or that passion to do something other than what you're doing. Maybe what you're doing right now can give you the means to achieve that dream, or maybe you need a little, like, I don't know, kick in the butt to keep that dream alive. You know what? DIY Semi, if you're still in here, I know it's late. If you're still in here, hit that link. You don't have to stay long, but you had a dream and you're kind of living it out right now. I just found what I saw tonight. Once again, I'll say it again. Watch Asian Mai's live that he did tonight about the merch that he just put into a store. Man, you can't, I don't know how somebody could watch that and not be motivated. And what I mean by that was seeing the smile, seeing like his enjoyment of his hard work paying off. That crap's priceless, man. I think about that every time I look at my truck. And my truck is not, it's a truck. But the enjoyment I have, like I got it washed the other day and I was walking around looking at it, kind of cleaning the tires. And I was like, this is awesome. This was my dream. And I was able to obtain it. Just like a lot of us can. NDS 23 says, good. Trying to learn the, sorry, it jumped on me. Trying to learn the Long Beach ports. Just got my TWIC card a couple of weeks ago. Okay, good. How is the truck? Truck's good. Those ports got to be tough. I've never been out west, like to California, but I pick up in ports sometimes. I pick up in a big port in New Jersey, and man, it's kind of an S show. Like, I couldn't imagine if I had to go there every day. Now, I guess if I went there every day, I would learn the routine. I would learn where to pull my truck, where to park my truck. But yeah, that port stuff, especially for somebody that doesn't do it on a day-to-day basis. That's a grinder's job, man. That's not easy work. Like, there was lines to wait to check in, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. Josh became an owner operator. Okay, you just became an owner operator? Did I miss one of your comments? Because that was my goal, was to become an owner operator. Kelly says equestrian therapy, very common. Yeah, I know it's common. It was just cool to see somebody that does it. You know, when cattle hauling met me in Virginia, um, his wife was with, and we had a great weekend. But that's what she does. Tim West, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Tim. How are you tonight? Josh, no, that's my dream. Okay, don't give up on it, Josh. Don't give up on it. Um, that's kind of what I'm here trying to say. And if you need motivation, go watch Asian Mai's live that he did tonight. Hopefully, it's already up. Don't give up on it. And you know what? You might find somebody, Josh, that you know, can help you obtain that dream. You know, research it, because it's got its ups and downs. But just like all of our dreams, I talked about wanting to own more property and things like that. There's obviously a lot of risk in that. If you own rental properties, there's risks in that. So there's risks in a lot of things that we want to do, but the outcome or the reward we can get from that risk can be life changing. You know, can be absolutely life changing. And like I said, that's what this hat from here on out is going to represent. Every time I think I'm not able to do something, I am going to look at this hat and realize I can do it, because I've already done one. Now I just have to stay focused and motivated and have a lot of discipline to obtain the other things that I want to obtain, and understand it's probably not going to come overnight. Let's be honest. You know what? There's a lot of people. Take me, for example. I'm a small YouTuber, right? I wouldn't even call myself a YouTuber. I put together videos and they happen to go on YouTube. I'm not not a YouTuber, but my goal with this is to eventually grow, eventually be bigger, maybe make a little bit of money off of it. There's a lot of people that might go live and look at 8, 9, 5 people in your live feed and just shut it down and give up. You know, the first couple of times I went live, that's what I did. Is nobody wants to listen, listen to me ranting or what I have to say. This isn't worth my time. But you know what? I just keep doing it. And slowly but surely 10 people come in, 20 people come in. If somebody like DIY or Cash is King is live with me, I'll get 30 people watching me. Like, it's hard work. It's determination. It's dedication. I'm not going to create a video that's lying about anything or complete made up nonsense to get views and maybe have like a viral video. I'm not going to do that. That would go against everything that I believe in. And I would look at people that have like kind of paved the way for me with doing this. I would think about them and they would know I was bullshitting. So I would feel like I'm letting them down, if that makes sense. If you're in here right now, hit the thumbs up for me. I would really appreciate it. Looks like there's 10 people in here. Could all 10 of you hit the thumbs up for me? Even if you hate me, just hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate that. I believe I dropped the link in the chat. Somebody come in here. Let's talk about your dream. Let's talk, you know, it doesn't have to be trucking related. It can be, You want a certain type of car. You want to maybe go on a yearly vacation with your family. I know those were dreams that I had. I think I've shared pretty much a lot of my backstory. I was a company guy for my entire career up until January of 2021. I was a company driver. I started driving truck when I was 19 years old. I'm 41 right now. Um, I have a family of five, and my wife is a stay at home mom. That is a very tough job. Very, very tough job. I don't know if I could do it. So going on vacations wasn't like the easiest thing for us to do on a consistent basis. We really had to save to like even go on a camping trip. So one of my dreams was to start making enough money to where once a year we could go on a nice vacation. The whole family, not just me and my wife, or I want it to be like a whole family experience. And you know what? We're living that out. Took work, took discipline, but we're living that dream out. Um Man, dude, I wish I'm so bad at enunciation. I Man, I don't want to say your name wrong. I know you're from Germany. Go. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna call you G. What up, G? Uh, do you think your work life balance is okay with trucking? Would you change something? Right now, no, I wouldn't change anything. The reason I say that is I'm in a market that doesn't come around a lot, and I need to take full advantage of the situation I'm in right now. In the future, yes, I would like to be home a little bit more. Um, Sometimes I'm not home because, perfect example, when my truck broke down, I spent 9 or 10 extra days in Virginia because I kept getting told my truck would be ready in a day or two. I probably should have gone home for that because I don't remember the last time I was at home. And I know the last time I was at home was only for like 2 nights. Um, the benefit I do have is my kids are older. One's almost 18, the other's a stepson's a junior in high school, and the youngest is a freshman in high school. Like I I believe I'm always going to be a father. I'm always going to have to be a parent. I'm always going to have to continue to like help raise my children. But I did my job. My kids are fully self-sufficient. My wife was on board with this. Is it hard? Yeah, it is hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's hard sometimes when I'm down in the dumps and all I can do is call her and talk to her. She might be down in the dumps and I can't be there to like console her. And you can make fun of me and call me a wussy and all that, but like a husband or a good boyfriend should take care of his wife. 100%. Doesn't mean you need to fix it, but you should be there to comfort them. And it's hard because I'm not always there to comfort her. So yes, in the future, I'd like to change it to where I'm home a little bit more. Um, Cattle hauling says, got a load. I'll catch the rest later. Be safe, everyone. Yeah, you too, cattle hauling. Don't get trampled tonight. Uh, Man versus Road. Fell asleep. Just got here. Hello. Hey, Man versus Road. There's a link in the chat. There's a link in the chat. Feel free to join if you want. We're kind of talking. Go back and watch Asian Mai. He did a live that was very inspirational. That's why I'm wearing his hat tonight. I've talked about him a lot. Um, but we're talking maybe about dreams and not letting go of your dream, whether that's related to trucking or outside of trucking. If you want to come in tonight, Aaron, the link's there somewhere in the chat. If you don't see it, comment it, and I'll try and drop it again. Mark is waving goodbye or waving hi, one of the two. Um, Yeah. Anyways, sorry, looking around. It's kind of a quiet place I'm at. I mean, a few trucks have rolled in here, but it's not even quarter full. It's a small lot, but it's kind of quiet. I like it. And the fact that I haven't done anything today. I got a haircut, a beard trim, and a shave today. That was my extent. That probably took me longer getting those three things done and then taking a shower than it did to drive to where I am, which is fine though. I'm way ahead of schedule still, even though people like DIY might mess with me right now. I'm still way ahead of schedule. I have nothing to worry about. Truck's running great. No complaints here. Oh, it looks like somebody showed up. Let's see who's in here. Oh, Kelly. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Well, we'll see how this works.
Ooh, can you hear me?
I think I'm behind. So.
Okay, I just heard you right now. Yeah, I think you might be behind a little bit. How are you tonight? How's your new job? This is Kelly. For you guys that don't know, he just started a new job. So I'd like to hear about it. Can you hear me, Kelly? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. I must be behind on video or something because I'm getting some weird echo.
Do you have the YouTube channel shut off?
Let me try that. No, that didn't work. Shit.
If you still have YouTube open, Kelly, close the YouTube feed and just go off of StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble with the mic.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting some echo coming from somewhere, but as soon as I turned off my stereo, it seemed to have solved the problem.
Okay, I can hear you good now. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I don't need this thing. Not too bad. I decided to stop a little early because the spaces were getting filled up real quick. I'm sitting at a pilot truck stop just off I-5 out near Bakersfield. There's a sign there that says, give me a second, biodiesel, $5.75 a gallon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be $6 in the next day or two.
Probably, yeah.
I had heard something earlier today that fuel prices were going to go up again at midnight.
No, that wouldn't surprise me any. Unfortunately, I don't have to pay for the fuel though.
Right. So tell us a little bit. How's your new job? You just started it, right?
Yeah, this is my first week here. I started last week after orientation. So far I like them. I mean, maybe it's because I've got a lot of experience behind me, but they don't bug me. They're just like, here's your load information. Go do what you need to do.
That's nice. You had commented earlier today, like you don't feel like they micromanage you, correct?
No, they don't use fuel routes, but they do have a route they prefer you to use when you're going from point A to point B, but it's all practical route miles anyways.
Okay.
It's like I was looking at the route that they had planned earlier today, and it had me going up I-5, then over up 97, and back down Highway 58, which adds in a lot of hills and some extra mileage. And so the dispatcher's like, that's kind of silly. And he's like, yeah, just go straight up I-5.
So we're talking a little bit tonight. I don't know if you watch Asian Mai at all, but he went live tonight, and I actually found it very inspirational. So I thought, hey, why not go live and kind of talk about some of our dreams or things we might be too scared to take the next step in, that maybe just a friendly little push might help us. I mean, do you have any aspirations, any dreams right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting married again.
Oh, you're thinking about getting married, huh?
No, would like to. Yeah, I
Okay.
got one girl I'm talking to.
Okay. That's that's a so I'm divorced. My current wife is my second wife. Um
Right.
and it did take time. Like I really thought about, do I want to be in that situation again? I'm grateful that I am. Um I couldn't imagine living my life with, you know, by myself or without, with anybody else. So yeah, that's a big step. I think all divorces, and I don't know your case. I'm only speaking from my experience. Um, a lot of people like to put blame on certain things, and sometimes that blame is okay, but also relationships go both ways. I know I had to
Oh yeah.
do a lot of growing up after my first divorce. I had to change. I was
Been there.
very self-centered.
Yeah, there was a fair amount that went into my divorce, but trucking was a large part of it. She liked the
Yeah.
money coming in, but in order to keep it coming in, I had to stay out 2, 3, 4 months at a time.
No.
So we eventually did. We grew apart. That's trucking like that over the road. It's hard on a new marriage.
It, yeah. I mean, I'm never out that long, but I know the times I am out longer than my typical time, it puts a strain on things. I mean, it
But
does. And it goes both ways. Like I know when I'm at home, I have to kind of change how I operate when I'm on the truck, because when I'm on the truck, it's all about me. I'll
right,
just be honest. When I'm in the truck, it's all about me. It's what I want when I want. When I'm at home, it can't be that way. And it can't be that way because I have to care about the people that are at home.
right. Well, I know one time when I got back, I got out of the truck and she wanted to go have dinner. I'm like, okay, no problem. She started to hand me the keys. I just looked at her like, back down to keys, back to her. She's like, oh, you want me to drive? I'm like,
Yeah. My wife does a lot of driving when I'm at home, and
yeah,
I don't even. I mean, I'll ask her, especially like, I mean, I always drive if we go out to eat and she has a couple of drinks. I'll drive home, but
so
I don't like driving when I'm at home.
typically no. I mean, I have to now, but yeah, when I was back, she did most of the driving.
Yeah. No, it's sorry, there's a question in here, or a comment. Let me see it real quick. NDS 23 says too crazy high in California. Yeah, fuel prices are crazy. Mark M says fuel prices are getting scary high. Yeah, I mean, fuel prices are getting high. And I don't want to stop, like, I'm just not pushing the alarm because currently what I'm doing, the rates are keeping up with the fuel costs. Uh,
Right,
and and my fuel, I mean, yes, I feel the pain of the fuel costs because it's costing me more to drive 1 mile, but
right.
I'm also getting paid a lot to drive that 1 mile.
Well,
Um,
it's also going to push the price up at the uh, in the
right?
stores as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to push the prices up on everything. We're
Yeah.
already in a bunch of inflation. It's only going to get worse. I mean, it will get worse, but it also will get better.
Oh yeah.
DIY always talks about a pendulum and it swings back and forth. And right now we're on the uptick. Well, eventually it's going to come back down. I hope.
It will eventually.
Anyway, sorry. Nomadic Brits talking to another guy that lives in Germany, Europe area.
Yeah, I guess I'll be
Evidently,
canceling my trip to the Ukraine.
that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I was going to go stay in a small town up next to the foothills of the Carpathian mountain range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, go
What?
well, jokingly speaking, go vampire and werewolf hunting.
Yeah.
If, if
And
you ever
so,
watched the movie with Kate Beckinsale, I think it's part two, but that's the Carpathian Mountain Range when they're flying over it in a helicopter.
oh, okay. What movie was that?
Uh, let's see, with Kate Beckinsale, shit,
I don't even know who that is.
she plays a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Give
I,
me a while, I'll think of it.
I was fortunate enough. I think I was telling this to Nomadic Brit one day. Maybe it wasn't him. But I was fortunate enough to kind of travel over in Europe when I was like 16, 17, and 18 years old. And the first time I saw a castle blew
Right.
my mind. Like to see an actual real castle was absolutely amazing.
Yep. Yeah, that and I was going to go do some touristy stuff. The Ukraine has what the world's oldest um, still functioning Catholic church.
Okay. I remember, was it Torino, Italy, I think? I walked up, they had this huge cathedral that had one of those spiral staircases
Hmm.
all the way to this top where you walked up to like a looking tower and it looked over, it was kind of built on the side of a mountain and it looked over the whole village below. And it was, I really wish I would have. I mean, I was an 18-year-old kid in a foreign country that allowed you to drink and all those things. So, like, I really wish I would have taken in more of like what the countryside had to offer instead of
Right.
kind of going crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, and another thing I'd like to do vacation wise is through what's called Yumpa Tours, YUMPA Tours. It's $32,000, but it's 2 weeks, and basically it's a tour through North Africa, like Sudan, uh, or well, Egypt, and places like that. And you go to like well, the pyramids, the Sphinx, Necropolis, and other sites like that. And then through parts of the Serengeti and the Nile.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. They offer two different versions, and you can do both, but you have to pay for both. So you're
Yeah,
looking at
you
about
said it was.
64. You'd be
You
looking at
said
about
how much
64
was it?
grand per person.
32,000.
Yep, per person.
That's out of my price range. I can't afford that. Even if I could, I don't. I mean, I guess if I could afford $32,000 for a trip, I wouldn't care about spending it. But so yeah, let's get back to kind of what you're. I mean, you started this new job. You got a change going on in your life right now. I know you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, 18-wheel chef.
18 Wheel Chef. Are you doing anything on that right now, or?
Not right now. I need to get some cash flowing coming in first.
Yep.
Say, even though I was only out of work for a few weeks, I still had to pay all of my bills, and I helped another person with their bills before I lost my job, and so that is my checking account.
Yep. Oh, the people don't realize that. I mean, I know. How can I say this? Even being an owner operator now, and you hear on YouTube or you hear other owner operators say like the money that they bring in. The time I was down when my truck broke down, that was like I'm still like recouping all that. I'm still nervous about what's gonna happen because a lot of money came out of my checking account and nothing entered it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yep.
I was dropping tens of thousands of dollars with nothing coming in. That's not that's not a good feeling. And I have a family vacation that I've already paid for, so I can't cancel it. And it's like, man, what do I do now? So I get how you feel.
Yeah, I pumped out about $4,500 to them,
It's a lot of
and then of
money.
course I'm still paying all of mine, and then whatnot. It's like, whew. And then to
So
lose the job at GP. But I was thinking about leaving anyways for a couple of months. Just between my doctor's appointments here on the West Coast, them being in, well, for me, the Midwest, they were having to take me out of their profitable lanes and kind of zigzag me back and forth in order to get me back to the doctor's appointments. And half the time I was missing them.
Yeah.
So,
So I just got a text from my wife that said that movie we were talking about is
mm,
called Underworld.
that's it. Yep.
Leave it to the wife. She she amazes me every day.
Well, there's an old saying behind every successful man, there's a strong woman.
Oh yeah. I when I talk like it's hard. Like I when I talk about my wife, it's hard not to like get because this is YouTube, but it's hard not to get emotional. And I
Right.
say that with all sincerity because there was a comment earlier tonight, like, what would I change? Is this hard on the family? And it is. And like I said earlier, the fact that I can't be there and knowing that she's on top of everything, like on top of the getting the kids ready, all the, she redoes our house. Every time I come home, there's something new done to my house. Um, I can't speak highly enough of my wife, and I can't, what you just said, my success is a direct reflection of what I have at home. Because if I didn't
Right.
have that at home, I would not be where I am. 100%. Nomadic Brit left a comment here that says, that's why my wife likes the UK, because it's history and historical buildings. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it.
Well, is there another
That's it.
place you can go?
Yeah, several. I was thinking after that, I think about maybe heading off to Southwest Africa.
Southwest Africa?
Yep,
Man,
Congo in that area.
that's crazy. You'll get malaria. I
You
like,
can get vaccinated. You can get vaccinated for that.
yeah, true. I like watching those documentaries on those places, like the Nile River. So, what is it? River Monsters? Did you ever watch that fishing show, River Monsters? Um,
My brother-in-law watches that, so I've seen clips here and there. But hunting, fishing, that type of stuff, it really isn't something I'm into.
oh, okay. Well, come
Last
to
time I went
hang.
fishing, I was 17 years old, and it was up at Wiki up or no Miller Lake in Oregon, and both my brother-in-laws were out there, and I fell asleep with a pole in the water, and a trout ended up hooking onto it, but I didn't know it. I drug that poor trout back and forth across the lake 3 times. My brother-in-law Steve woke me up, and he's like, "Why don't you check your line?" I reeled it up. There's a trout. He had
Well,
no fight left in him whatsoever.
come and hang out in Minnesota for a weekend, and we'll bring you fishing. I love. I mean, I don't go fishing as much as I would want to go, just because of I mean, I have to work, and then when I'm at home, here's the funny thing. Here's the difference in my mentality. I went from a company guy that literally thought that if I wanted to go fishing, I've earned the right to go fishing because I work all day. I come home, I take care of the kids, I bring my kids to sports. So if I want to go do something, I kind of
Right?
am entitled to go do it. Well, now when I come home, I might I might talk about going fishing or like ice fishing's going on right now.
Yep.
But in all honesty, I'd rather be at home. I would rather be around my wife. I would rather be around my kids. Even though I love to do these things,
Right.
the passion I have for them isn't greater than the passion I have for my family. You know.
Well, it's like I love playing like 8 ball and 9 ball. But when I would get home, instead of going out and doing that and knocking back a couple of beers or whatever, I stay home with her and do the cooking
You did all the cooking?
while I was there. Most of it, yeah.
Yeah. My wife does all the cooking. We'll cook meals together sometimes. I mean, the reality is when I go home, I like to go out to eat now. You know what I mean? I like to go have a good steak dinner. I really like prime rib. So the wife and I will go out for a Saturday night and go prime rib, try and go out, we try and go out at least once when I'm home.
Oh yeah.
Last time I was home, we cooked stuffed shells together, which was a lot of fun. Um, looks like people are comparing rates in the UK to rates here in the US, and
Yeah, my last dispatcher lived in Lithuania, and it works out to like $16 a gallon or something like that.
what?
$4 a liter or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Holy crap! They
Yeah.
drive different trucks than we drive, though. I saw somebody made that comment. I think Mark, or maybe it was Nomadic Brit, made that comment that the trucks are set up more economically, like they're different trucks. Which I know they drive a lot of almost like cab over looking trucks over in Europe.
Yeah,
Smaller
I
wheelbases.
forget the name of them right off the bat, but
I can't think of the name. I think it starts with an A. I can't think of the name.
well, of course,
But yeah,
Volvo is pretty big over there. As Mercedes is a big one too.
yep. Hold
Well, I
on
was
one
test
second.
driving. Well, I was test driving trucks. I had a chance to drive. Well, it'd be a Freightliner with a Mercedes engine in it.
Oh, okay.
You could lots of power, and when you applied the Jake brakes, you could barely hear them, but you could definitely feel them. So they were quiet, but they slowed you down really good.
That's my I mean, I run an after treatment system, so you're not going to hear my Jake brakes, but my Jake brakes are the same way. They stop, like, they slow me down big time. Okay, yeah. Mercedes, yep, you're right. Um, but yeah, somebody else, if anybody else is interested, I think there's 8 people left in here tonight. Want to talk about dreams or desires, passions? I mean, I've shared mine. Okay, let me ask you this. You said you want to get married again. You talk about traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any goals within trucking or outside of trucking that you want to accomplish?
Within trucking, actually, probably go owner operator and lease onto somebody.
Okay.
But I want to get one of those ARI custom sleepers because of the amount of cooking that I do on the road and stuff. It would actually be better to have one of those, bigger refrigerator, more storage, things like that.
Now that's one of those big sleepers that are on the back of trucks, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can get them anywhere from standard size and still have it be a custom, but all the way up to, I think it's 165 inches.
Oh wow,
Or something like that. It's like 12 or 13 feet.
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. I've seen a couple. Gosh, I can't think of that guy's name. He runs flatbed. He's got a really good YouTube channel. Dave, I think his name's Dave. Um, he just bought. I think it's a Peterbilt. He bought an orange Peterbilt with a huge sleeper on the back of it. It's so. I mean, he's got full size like queen bed in there. It's
Oh, yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yep. Yeah, you can get some really nice setups in them.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, did you were you able to catch Alex's live earlier?
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
most of it I was out walking my dog.
Oh, you travel with a dog?
Oh, absolutely.
What? Big dog, little dog? Oh no, it's a lab,
Yeah,
right?
yellow lab.
Yellow
Yeah, his
lab.
name's
It's like 85 pounds or something, right? You've told us
75.
75. Yeah. Yeah. You were Mark M says that's an entire
Chance. Come.
there's entire apartments in Japan smaller than those custom sleepers.
Chance. Come.
Yeah.
Chance. He's being shy.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, hi puppy. That's so cute.
Can you say hi to people? Chance.
So cute.
Good boy.
Now you're making me miss my dog.
Yeah, I am his emotional support human.
Yeah. My dog, she would, my dog's attached to my wife at the hip, so she would not like to be gone. She would jump in here and ride around for a day, but then she would
Right.
look at me and be like, "You need to get me home." You know. Um,
Yeah, the next person I want basically either to be either child free or their children are growing and gone. So that way, basically, they can come out on the road with me and they won't have the separation problem
yeah.
or growing distant issue.
You know what? I mean, we live in a society right now that's actually more common. You know what I mean? I have a couple of friends that are married and they're in their they're getting up into their 40s and still don't have kids and aren't going to have made the decision, hey, we're not going to have kids. They do a lot of traveling and they
Right.
do things when they want to do it, and they just said we really don't want to give that up. Like, they have nieces, they have nephews, they spoil the hell out of them, but they're like, we get our kid fix from that. We don't really want any children, and that's getting more prevalent in this society right now.
Well, I kind of dolt on my nephew's stepkids,
Yep.
but especially over the 4th of July, I ended up buying like $5,000 worth of fireworks.
Jesus.
I mean, the big fireworks, the one, the
Yep.
3-inch cannons.
Where you drop them into the thing?
Some of them, yes. Others, they come preloaded with
Okay.
like a case of 9 shots. You just light the fuse and run like hell. The barrels are about yay big around, about
Wow.
a foot long. They shoot up like 300 feet, 300 foot in the air, and then depending upon which ones you get, can have anywhere from a 100 to a 500-foot spread.
Wow.
So
That's crazy. I've never spent, I mean, I've spent money on, like, your Roman candles, and in Minnesota it's illegal to have fireworks. You can't you're not supposed to possess fireworks. During the
I
4th
know.
of July, what?
So in Oregon, you can't have anything other than Class C's. Those were all Class A's.
Yeah, during the 4th of July, they really don't, the leading up to 4th of July and a couple of days after, they're not very strict on it, but you can go right across the river into Wisconsin and purchase
Right.
fireworks and come back to Minnesota. But they set up stings where they have like troopers watching the fireworks store, and if you come back across the
Yeah,
bridge in
what
Minnesota, they'll pull
Oregon
you
does
over.
that. Oregon does that with Black Cat fireworks just across. If you go Portland, yeah, Portland, Oregon, and
Yep.
Vancouver, Washington, just having ones just across the river. Well, of course, Washington, they have Black Cat fireworks as one of their distributors there, and of course, they sell the Class A's, which are legal in Washington. So Oregon State Troopers do the same thing. They sit there and they watch that fireworks distributor, because
Yeah.
people from Oregon will go there, get the fireworks, and come back. The ones I bought, though, I got down in Mexico and I had them loaded in the back of the sleeper berth. So
Yeah.
you pull down the bunk bed. That entire area up there was taken, and then part of the back of the bottom bunk. I ended up with like 25 cases of fireworks.
Oh my goodness.
And
I
I,
I kind of would like to do that, but I don't know. The
yeah,
enjoyment would be gone too fast for me.
I picked those up at Phantom Fireworks just across the Arizona border into Mexico, and ran around with them in the truck for like damn near a month before I
Oh,
actually got them
damn.
home.
Damn.
I'm a smoker,
Oh,
dynamite smoker, dynamite.
that's a dangerous setup there. You must have been praying every night.
Ah, it's all sealed up.
Yeah.
So I got them back to my nephews, and of course the kids came out. And they're like, Jesus Christ.
Mark, Mark M. Hold on. I saw only one female truck driver with a cat. Dogs are quite often in company with drivers. Yeah, I see a lot of guys and girls with truck drivers that have dogs. Everywhere you go now, you see dogs. I would love to have a dog. The only problem is I don't want the responsibility. Like, there's times I drive and just pull over and climb into my bunk and go to bed. I don't want to have to get in the lanes I run. It can be 30 below out one night. I don't want to get all bundled up and bring the dog for a walk. You know what I mean? I'm lazy that way.
You know, when it gets like that, you know what I do with him? Is I'll find an area that I can pull up to. I can open up the door, put him on the leash. I'll sit in the driver's seat and let his ass bail out and go do his thing.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
He climbs back in after he gets done.
Mark M says, "Oh my God, imagine if that truck had a fire. There'd be nothing left of the entire truck stop." He's probably right. Mark M also says, "Kelly, if those fireworks didn't faze you, I suggest looking into being a local fuel hauler." Nomadic Brit says we can't have pets in our tanker. Oh, probably for hazmat reasons or whatever. But I can't see Nomadic Brit running around with a pet in his truck. Pet would probably eat all of his biscuits. What was that?
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
They're an alarm system.
No, those dogs. I'm not a Chihuahua fan. I like a medium size to a big. I grew up with big dogs. But big dogs are tough. I like my dog's like 45 pounds. That's perfect size for me.
Yeah, most of the dogs that I grew up with are about his size.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up with German Shepherds and Pit Bulls. And I love both those breeds. But hey, there is a link. Hopefully that link's still in the chat. Let me know if you don't see a link to StreamYard. If you want to join in tonight, feel free to. We're kind of talking about, I guess it was kind of started out like a reaction live based off of Asian Mai's live that he did. And what I mean by that is I felt like it was really motivating and inspiring. Like, don't give up on your dreams and your goals. Kelly joined in, shared some of what he still wants to accomplish, not only in trucking, but in his personal life. Feel free to hit that link and come in for a little bit. And maybe you need a little motivation to take the leap into whatever it is you want to do. I suggest, Kelly, you find the right woman. Don't just leap into marriage.
No.
You know, but
I've been divorced for let's see, 11 years now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Nomadic Brit says Schneider allows pets in vans, but not tankers. That makes sense.
Interesting.
So I've never looked into like company driving for like to have a pet with. Is there a lot of companies that are allowing pets to go on the road with the driver?
A lot of them do, but I don't know whether it's 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever, but there's quite a few of them do. I was going to go to Martin Transportation. They are pet friendly, sort of, but they limit the size of the pet to 25 pounds.
Okay.
So he's about 50 pounds too heavy. And
right.
There's no exceptions granted.
Okay. What about when you were at GP?
Yeah, they're very pet friendly. The only ones they don't want you to have are anything that can fly. Now, why, I don't know, but for whatever reason.
Are you talking about like birds?
Yeah.
People bring birds in their truck?
Apparently. Now, maybe if you clip their wings or something, so that way they can only fly like a little ways. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Man, I grew up with or didn't grow up. We had oh, what are the little ones? If my
parakeets.
if my wife's watching, text me what type of birds we had at the house. And I'll tell you what, those things, my daughter loved them. She didn't take care of them very well. Like we were the ones always cleaning the cage, but
Right?
those things were so damn annoying. Like,
Canaries.
well, what?
Canaries, maybe. They're
No,
only
they
about
weren't. Uh, they're all yeah. They were only about this big, bunch of different colors. I
huh.
don't know. I forget what they were called, but they were, they would chirp all. They were loud. They were loud. They were cool, but they were loud.
Get a parrot and teach it dirty jokes.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big bird guy. I'm a dog guy. I like cats too, but I'm a definitely a dog guy. So
I think an interesting pet for a truck would be a Komodo dragon.
huh,
Imagine DOT pulls you over. It's like, I want to do an inspection on your truck, or rather, in your truck. Yeah, let me get my lizard out of there first. It's like, I ain't afraid of no lizard. Open up the door. Oh shit!
yeah. No, I don't think me having a pet in my truck would I think it would help. Like I would love to, like I said, I'd love to have a dog. I'm just way too I don't want the responsibility. I'm too lazy. I would be a lazy pet owner and I cannot do that to an animal, you know.
Nothing else.
I,
He's chased four people off in the middle of the night that tried to get in. I
that
mean,
tried to get
not
in.
all at the same time, just different times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, two of them were at the TA truck stop not too far from here in Santanella or Gustine. I was parked there, and I still locked the doors and whatnot. And you, later at night, where you're falling asleep, but you're still half awake and kind of aware of what's going on around you. I can hear somebody trying to get in through the door, and he came unglued.
Really?
Yeah, the only time he ever gets aggressive is basically in those situations.
Yeah. No, I've only once experienced. I had one person. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh my goodness! There was almost a huge wreck right here. People not being patient. A guy's backing up, and this other truck came flying through. Anyways, one night I had crawled in the bunk. I had just shut all my front lights off, and I was laying there maybe for like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I heard a knock on my like kind of like if you're at a shipper or receiver, like they knocked back by the sleeper.
Right.
And I ignored it at first, and then I heard it again. So I come up front and I look out the window, and it was just the lady of the night. But I was pretty pissed off. I was like, please, what, I used some choice words to her, but
Right.
yeah,
Use the term
DIY
lady.
semi,
Use the term lady for those type of women is pretty generous.
yeah. So DIY semi just commented, "You gonna work today?" Parakeets. We have
Okay.
parakeets. DIY semi, you gonna work today? Yes, DIY. I will work today. It currently is 9:45 p or 9:42 p.m. where I am, which means it's 8:42 Central Time. I'm not driving through Chicago yet. I I will be to the
It's still rush hour.
no. I don't deliver until 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and I'm 122 miles away. 140. Like I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. DIY. If you want to hit that link and join, come and join. Tell us about your dreams and aspirations.
He's like, I dream
Mark
for you to get moving.
Mark M says, I hate that drivers don't have respect anymore. Yeah, that's what just happened right here. And the guy that was backing up, how he had to back in, he kind of was he was kind of blindsiding in, and a truck came that he couldn't see. And had we not, the guy next to me honked his horn too. he would have backed up right into him.
I watched one truck driver just a little while ago throw his garbage out behind his truck.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Jeez, like, come on, really?
I actually blew my trailer out yesterday, and I brought my garbage can with me. And then when I got to the back of my trailer, I have a little broom, and I sweeped it all in there. And there was another guy next to me that literally was doing the exact same thing as me and threw out 2 pallets right behind his truck. And I looked at him and said, "Hey, can't you pick that stuff up?" Huge delay in getting. Oh, I guess I'm getting a huge delay in getting texts. My wife said she texted me when I asked her what type of birds we had. So Mark says, I hate that drivers don't have respect anymore. I agree. DIY Semi says, why so cranky? Because I feel like I'm being micromanaged and I don't need to be micromanaged. You get some F off time. Damn right. I get some F off time. There we go. DIY is just having flashbacks from the last couple of live streams. Yeah. I had to relocate. Park next to a purge valve guy. Oh, I hate that. Where they go off nonstop. Oh. DIY Semi says, LOL, Mark M, we tease because we care. Yeah, okay. I think you have fun making fun of me, DIY. And I'm an easy target. I get it. I post videos about staying fresh and staying clean by getting a shave and beard trim. So yeah. What do you call that? Metrosexual?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody else is interested, hey, hit that thumbs up for me, please. Hit the link. I put the link in the chat. If you guys don't see a link to the chat or to the live stream, let me know and I'll post it again. I'll just reiterate this again. What?
You probably pin it to the top.
Yeah, but so I'm on my. Maybe I could do it on my other phone. That's just a lot of work. But yeah, maybe I can. So what else you got going on? Talk for a minute. I gotta get my other phone fired up.
Yeah, I can't really see any of the chat, so.
Yeah, that's what sucks about doing it on StreamYard.
Well, I can, but I have to flip back and forth between the video and the chat. But
so, stepped away. Just be patient, people. I'm firing up my other phone to maybe pin that link to the top of the chat.
And grab another Dr. Pepper.
Sorry, Mark M says I had my governor replaced and it blows off every couple of minutes. It seems like it's more often than it should be. This is brand new part doing it. Huh. I'd get it looked at. Man versus Road says, your saying is keep on trucking. Mine's going to be don't be a purge valve guy. That's classic. If you're, we got somebody sitting in the background here. It's DIY. Oh no, it's Alonzo.
What's going on, boys?
Good evening. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I can hear you. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, not too shabby.
Where are you at?
I am in Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Undisclosed location in Indiana.
Yeah, right. I'm starting to learn to not share. Here's something that's crazy, and I played it off. Somebody looked at me today and then rolled their window down and like, are you? And I'm like, nope. And I just kept walking.
Nope. Not it.
And I'm nobody.
Well, when I met Josh from this guy Trucks, I didn't recognize him at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm used to
You,
seeing him through the phone, and it kind of changes things a little bit.
oh, see my other
But then
phone.
eventually it hit me, and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
My other phone. My other phone's a T-Mobile network, and I'm not getting any service. So, Alonzo, you
What's up?
you join this chat. Do you have any dreams or aspirations
Oh, I
within
have all
trucking?
sorts of dreams.
Well, share some.
I'm I'm a combat veteran. Started my own carrier. Been talking to DIY, and he's helped me along the way, and uh, just trying to get my carrier established. So the dream is to uh, get some more trucks and hire veterans. That's what I want to do. Primarily hire veterans. You know, it helped me. It helped me um, when I got out of the army. Uh, just just the windshield time helped me work through some things, and um, I just kind of want to give somebody else the opportunity to do that as well. It, reflection is everything, in my opinion. So
Absolutely. And thank you for your service, because I actually recognize you from, I want to say it was probably like 4 months ago. You were on a live show with DIY, if I remember right.
yeah,
And
with you and DIY.
yeah, and I believe at that time you weren't up and running yet, right?
No, I didn't even have my own truck yet.
That's right. So in that short amount of time, you've gotten your own authority and your truck.
And a trailer.
Wow,
Damn,
good
you're
for
moving
you.
right along.
Share that experience, because that wasn't that long ago.
No, it really wasn't. It was, uh, I made some sacrifices. I had to refinance my house anyways, so I pulled some money from my refinance. Um, a, a friend of mine, when I first started driving, actually before I was in the military, back in, I think it was 05 ish. Um, Me and my brother were driving team with his W900, and we had met up with this guy that was leased down to the same carrier, and we got to know him. He is from the same area, and he had a truck. He was retiring, and he said, "Hey, do you want to buy this truck?" And I said, "Yeah, what do you got?" And he said, "2010 Columbia." Said, "Yeah, let me take a look at it." And I ended up buying this 2010 Columbia from him for $10,000.
Wow.
And he's like, "I know I can get more money on the market the way the market is right now." I said, I know you can, Ed. He's like, "But I want to see it get going." And he sold it to me for $10,000. And
That's amazing.
yeah, so I got the truck from him. Uh, got a hold of my buddy that works for another uh, leasing equipment leasing company out of Grand Rapids, and
Grand Rapids,
I,
Michigan.
yeah,
Okay. Is that
and
where you're from?
yeah, I'm from around that area,
Okay.
and yeah, he says, "Oh, Randy, he's actually been on him and his cab over been on the Asian My Show." Um, he's the one that got both me and my brother into it. It's kind of funny how it all works out, you know.
It,
He got me. He gave my brother his first shot in trucking, and lo and behold, I get a hold of him after I served tours and whatnot, and I was like, "Hey, you know where a trailer is?" He's like, "Yeah, I got one for you. He says, come take a look at them. We're cycling 6 of them out, and you pick out the best one. So I picked out the best one, and he brought her into the shop and gave it all new bearings, like went through this thing. It's like, you won't have to do anything to this thing for a long time. So
Nope.
I got that from him. So set me up pretty fat.
So in a market where we're all aware that so many things are, at least in my estimation, like overpriced, you've been able to purchase a truck and a trailer and get your own authority. Like,
yeah,
that is determination. That is the willingness to sacrifice some things. Like you said, you refinanced your house. Like, good for you. That is amazing. And I have a question, and I don't mean for it to come across naive, but I was never in the military. I didn't serve our country like you have. Do you find it easy being out on the road due to like your training in the military and everything, like being on deployment and things like that, away from home for long stretches of time? Have you found that
absolutely.
trucking?
It makes it easier.
Okay.
Yeah, knowing you've made sacrifices before, and this is kind of a sacrifice for your family. It makes it easier.
Yeah, I was curious about that because I have my best friend is a navigator in the Navy, and he's been in the Navy since he was, I don't know, 18 years old, and he's retiring here in a little bit. But he was talking about, hey, maybe I become a truck driver, and he's like, my wife's already used to me being on deployment for a year at a time, and this and that. And he's like, I'm used to being away from home, and it's like, I thought about that when he said it to me. Like, you guys and girls that have been in the military, like, you're used to the sacrifice between your family and your job. Like, that's, you've done that for so long that the transition has to be pretty easy. And once again, if I'm misspeaking and I'm offending somebody, I don't mean to. I've never been in the military. I don't understand everything that the men and women that serve our country go through. I just think it would be, you're used to not being at home.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time offending me. The people that are offended try to play the victim, and I'm trying not to do that.
Well, so you've taken some big steps, and you were talking about you want to build off of your one truck, right? That's what you had said earlier.
Yeah.
So how can I state this? Do you want to build off where you have independent contractors working under your authority, or do you want to have like company drivers and grow a carrier that way?
I kind of want to go both ways. They're having the veterans that have a truck and they want to come in and lease on. I want them to feel at home too. I also want to employ maybe some people that have worked in like a PAX terminal or whatever, and they know logistics. Maybe give them a shot doing some dispatch work. I thought about that, having a dispatcher maybe make a percent of whatever drivers that she's assigned, he or she is assigned to, making a percent. So if they make a percent, this is kind of what I've been kind of thinking about. If they make a percent, they're gonna try their hardest to get that driver the best loads that they can.
Right. And
You know what
sometimes,
I mean?
I mean, you'll learn this, and this is something I learned because of DIY. He taught me some great things. Just because a load might say, be $10,000, right? And don't look at just the dollar value of what a load is. Look at where that load's going. Get an idea of what you can get coming out of there, because, perfect example is, we had people, I probably shouldn't say anything. I know that I generated more income weekly than somebody that booked their own freight, because all that person looked at was the dollar value,
Sure.
nothing else.
I'm learning that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a tough thing to learn.
Yeah, you look at the dollar amount and you're like, well, maybe it's only paying $2.93 a mile, when I can make it up doing like regional freight the way I've been doing it, and and making $5-6 a mile, sometimes $7.
So,
Well, Florida would be a great example of that. It's good getting in there, but getting out's a problem.
yes, that's why you always try and get big money to go into Florida. I mean, that's what I've always heard. Cash is King talks about that. DIY
Yeah,
semis talks
almost
about
always
that.
been deadhead out.
Yeah.
Well, I try to
Up
look
in
at it.
Georgia or something.
I'm sorry. I try to look at it too, like what it costs me to run this truck and what I can get per mile. Not just like what they tell you on like a load board, what it's paying per mile, but I try to figure it what I got into my deadhead, what I'll have for fuel, because my bunk heater's broke right now, so I got to run the truck occasionally. So I try to figure out what it's going to cost me per night for fuel. I try to get all my costs in there and go from there.
I heard a guy say the other day on YouTube that the importance of knowing your numbers, and I mean DIY talks about this too, but I heard a guy say that, like, you can haul whatever you want for whatever rate per mile, but if you don't know what your cost per mile is in operations, you're doing yourself a disservice. Whether it's huge rates per mile or small, like, you need, no matter what it is, you need to know your cost per mile. And that was driven into my head right away. But I would like to ask you a quick question. When you got out of the military and decided to take this venture that you're on right now, was there any, like, does the military have any programs set up to, like, help you transition, or maybe help in financing or anything like that?
They do.
Okay.
They do. If you want to start a small business, I forget the dollar amount, but you've probably heard of the VA home loans, right?
Yes, I have.
So they have VA home loans. They also have like a VA small business loan as well. And it's either like $100,000 or $150,000 that you can get guaranteed. So it sounds great. It's a guaranteed loan. They don't guarantee an interest rate. So you're like, as a veteran, you really got to pay attention to what this bank's going to charge you.
Right.
Could end up with loan shark rates if you're not careful.
Yeah. I don't think it'll get to that point, like loan shark rates or even a really bad rate, because the VA will step in and say, nah, no, we're not doing that.
Okay. Well, that's because you got somebody watching your back with that then.
Say again, Kelly?
That's good you got somebody watching your back with that type of stuff then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, that's such a, I remember that live show that you came in on, and I'm actually really glad you stopped in here tonight, because that is such a short, that was not that long ago. I remember I remember where I was when you were in that live show. I was in Pennsylvania. I think I was at Dirty Broke's Loves, to be honest with you. So that wasn't that long ago. And it's cool that you've
Oh, I'm
achieved
always
so much.
popping in your show and making a smart ass comment or something.
Yeah.
I've been going under the name Assy McGee.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
I kind
recognize
of got
that
that
name.
as a corporal.
Yeah. You did that?
They kind of gave me that name as a corporal
Gassy McGee?
because I was a bit of an ass.
Oh. Yeah, see, I don't I mean, ranks and stuff, I know nothing. I mean, I was yeah.
It's your first level non-commissioned officer.
Okay. So Mark M here says regional is the best. Not too short with daily headaches, not long enough where the extra miles and tolls aren't paid. Okay, I can see that. I know the region that I live in, like let's say I was to leave Minnesota and go to Illinois and then go to Iowa and then Iowa back up to Minnesota, like I can make good money staying regionally. I choose to run the lanes I run because I can actually generate more. But yeah, you are right about that, Kelly. I could stay out of, or Kelly, Mark, I wouldn't have to pay a toll at all if I stayed, even going into Illinois. I might have to pay one toll here and there, but I could skip most tolls if I stayed regional. And that's what you're doing right now, Alonzo, is staying regional.
Yeah, I'm staying regional. You know,
Okay.
running Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Haven't done any Wisconsin yet. I'm not opposed to it, but ran some. I've ran all the way out. I've ran to Virginia, Pennsylvania.
So
Um,
Mark just said you have do you have a channel under that other name?
yeah, a little. Yeah, I've only done a few.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
I've
I'll
been thinking
check that
about changing that to like tactical trucker or something like that.
out. So, real quick, not to interrupt you, let's get back to Kelly here, real quick. Kelly, your new job. Are you were saying earlier about like doctor's appointments and things like that? Do you stay more regionally based now too?
Yeah, with this company.
Okay.
Basically, I'll be making a kind of a big L,
Okay.
going up down Interstate 5 and then out to Texas through Interstate 10, with occasional jaunts up to like Salt Lake City, over to Denver.
Okay. Interesting. I don't get out that way. I very seldom go west of I-35. I stay to the east of I-35. Um, so sorry, little Al Alonzo can be, or Alonzo, can you get that loan even if you served 20 years ago, or is
Yeah,
it for
absolutely.
recent vets?
If you haven't used it, you can still use it.
Hey, I don't know if you do this at all. If you have a channel and you talk about wanting to help other veterans,
Yeah,
you should talk about this stuff, man. I know there's another guy, God, what's his name? Spectre. He's an ex-veteran, and I know he runs a carrier, and he'll talk about like certain things that are out there for vets, but you should maybe think about doing that.
you know, I should probably next time I'm at the VA, pick up some documentation on that and just kind of brush up on it so I know my uh, so I know the ins and outs and yeah,
Yeah,
I
that would be
decided to speak on that a little bit.
I'm gonna I'm gonna invite somebody to this real quick, so just give me a second here.
Yep. Hey, Kelly, and I hope I didn't break your camera.
You froze up.
Yeah, hold on. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Yeah, I was inviting somebody. If they join, well, here's what we're gonna do, and I mean no disrespect by anybody or to anybody. What we're gonna do is if this other person can join in, we will drop the person that's been on the longest, which would be me, but we're not gonna drop me. Yeah, we'll
Oh
drop
no, that would kill the stream.
that's how we'll do it if that's okay with you guys, because I
That's
mean
fine by me.
obviously I don't get a lot of people in here, but if somebody wants to share some information or have a dream and needs a little kick in the butt, that's kind of what I want to do tonight.
I'm just
Like
getting
I
used to the
said,
idea of being on video. Usually when I do my videos, I don't show my face.
oh really? Well, if you
Yeah.
if you ever want to come in here and don't show your face, I'm fine with that. Kind of like what DIY Semi says, just don't be driving. You know, there's liabilities that come in that.
No, I hear you.
Oh, had to shut this truck
I'm
off.
gonna get used
It
to.
was smoldering hot here.
I just had to crank my bunk heater up a little bit.
One of the weirdest things is when I do the videos and I'm rewatching them for editing, is hearing the sound of my own voice, because recorded wise, it sounds a lot different than how I hear it through bone and muscle conduction.
Yeah.
So when I hear my own voice on on the audio, it's just like.
I'll get to a couple of these comments here real quick. Killians is saying hi. Saying hi to everybody. Lil Al says, awesome. Thank you for the information. Yeah, Alonzo, you should. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm sure there's lots of veterans, females and males, that might need a veteran to say, hey, this isn't a bad way of going about doing things. I would assume that your guys' brotherhood, whether it's a male or a female, is a lot better than like me telling somebody. You know what I mean? Like I gotta believe
absolutely.
that. I gotta believe that.
No, we try to help each other out.
Yeah. Mark
I
M.
kind of noticed that in the trucker community as well, though. Like, it like even at the local level, like where you might be slightly in competition with each other, people just help you out.
Yeah. Well, in my experience, that's actually decreasing. And what I mean by that is when I started driving and I started trucking, everybody kind of helped everybody. If you were watching this a little bit ago, like some guy cut off another guy as he was backing up, like that didn't happen. I take that back. I'm sure it happened. I didn't witness it as much as I do now. It's almost like every man or woman for themselves, where even the OGs, like the old truckers, probably look at young truckers coming into this game, and the young truckers aren't giving the respect that the old truckers deserve. You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying old at age. I'm saying old in experience. You know what I mean?
This damn thing. I got this issue with this truck that it's got like this emergency shut off so I don't lose voltage.
Yep.
There it goes. And for some reason, like it's been doing this. So I'm obviously bleeding voltage out somewhere.
So actually, Killian's Trucking says, evening pneumatic. They have unloaded me here faster than I was thinking. Need to start coming to this Walmart more often. Off to Costco. We'll be listening in though. Okay, we'll drive safe, Killians. And I know what Walmart you're at. I'm not going to disclose it because they are very, very fast at unloading. I love that Walmart that you're at. I will say there's a Walmart in Virginia in can't think of the name of the city now. It's another DC in Virginia where they'll unload you. By the time you pull in and leave, you've only been there like an hour and a half. They're super fast. And the one
I
that
noticed that about Walmarts. They're
they're hit
super
or miss.
fast.
Some are. Others can be. I've been to a couple of Walmarts down south that I'm there for 6-7 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that experience with Kroger in Portland.
Kroger's the worst. You want a tip for Kroger? Grease the palms of the lumpers. You know when you go to Kroger's and you check in with the lumper service?
Yeah.
Grease their palm. I do it. I do it all the time. And it's probably a bad habit to get into, but I do it because I've been stuck at Kroger's for hours before. And then one day I offered the guy $20 and I was out of there in like 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Portland one, assuming that it hasn't changed much, a quick time in and out there would be about 5 hours.
Okay.
That's crazy. I was probably a couple weeks ago. I was at Kroger in New Era, Michigan, and it was like a line of trucks. I was like, I'm gonna be here for freaking days, and it just like the line went. I was done in that line, huge line, in like 45 minutes, and I was backing into a dock, and like a half an hour later, they're like, "You're all set." I'm like, "Oh, wow, that was fast."
This is a comment from Mark M to Alonzo. Alonzo, there's videos on how to check the fuse box for which circuit is draining your batteries. So I guess if you want to find out what circuit might be draining your battery, watch some videos.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
There's videos on everything.
Yeah.
You know, Mark M says Tyson is by far the worst shipper in the country. My record is 16 hours. That's any chicken. That's any chicken shipper.
I've been there myself.
Yeah, that's any chicken shipper. That sounds
Really?
funny. Oh yeah, they're the worst.
I've gotten 10-hour
That
resets.
one down by Cincinnati.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's when I first started out, like 2005 though. Like before I went in the military, I was down there and I was like, oh my God, never again.
So you just brought something up that I didn't know. You had a CDL before you joined the military?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny because like I was an infantry guy, and like I wasn't, like, people might think I was like an 88 Mike truck driver, you know, but that's not what I was. I was actually infantry, and like all my other infantry brothers are like, they seen this, when we were in Iraq, they seen this this semi truck, this upper armored semi truck was a Freightliner, and they're like, hey, we need that moved. Can we get somebody? I'm like, I'll move it. They're like, you know how to drive that? I'm like, yeah. Like, they just thought it was just like the most awesome thing, like that I knew how to drive a semi truck. Like, how do you know how to drive a semi truck? I'm like, look, I got a CDL.
Yeah, right. Killian's Trucking says he was stuck at a Lineage Logistics for 22 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, that would. Gosh, I can't enunciate. So, write this down. Tell me how to enunciate this name, or help me out here. Groggo. Grogu. Groggo.
Grago?
How? What?
Grago?
Grago. There you go. That's probably right. Grago. In Germany, drivers unload their own trucks most of the time. Yeah, there's places here.
That would be badass.
Yeah. Save a lot of money if we could unload our own trucks. Although, would you want to break down all those huge, tall pallets? Nope. I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I was a lumper as a teenager. That wasn't much fun.
Yeah. I I would pay to get big pallets broke down. Then again, I used to deliver a lot to a McLean's in Minnesota, and I got real familiar with the guy that unloaded my truck every time. I got really familiar with the security, and he told me, because I would ask him, I go, why did it take so long? My pallets don't need to be broken down. Well, what they had to do was like take off a certain amount of layers to like get their counts right. So that's why it took so long.
Oh, gotcha.
Insult invest.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My last job, I was actually, I was working for a automotive fastener company, driving for them, and I had the privilege of loading and unloading my own stuff. So it just, I know how it goes. Like when you can do that, it's so much faster.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting for somebody to do it.
Yeah. That doesn't care. That doesn't care about your time. At least if you're unloading your own truck, you care about your time.
Right.
You know?
Have you noticed, like, I don't know why it is, like there seems to be some like animosity between like high-low driver and truck driver. Like there's always attitude, and it's like we don't need to have this dynamic.
Well, I would agree. You don't need that dynamic. The problem is, can you repeat what you said? Who's fighting with who?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like there's it goes on both sides.
Yeah,
you know, there truck drivers will come in and treat the receiver like shit, and then the receiver treats them like shit, and then like even when you got drivers that come in that are very respectable and very professional, that receiver still treats them like shit.
Yep. No, it's a two-way street, because I've experienced, I always stay very like pleasant, right? I'm not the guy to ever, I'll go in if I've been sitting somewhere and ask questions, but not in like a demeaning way at all. And I've been treated like crap by the shipper and receiver people, right? Like absolute dirt. I'm the scum of the earth. But I've also seen drivers treat the people behind the desk that are like pleasant. The people behind the desk aren't in control of unloading your truck. They're really just there to do your paperwork. And right. I've seen drivers flip out on them, which that's due to the people unloading their truck not respecting our time. Well, you know what? Maybe the driver before us didn't respect their time, and it's a snowball effect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I had this interaction with this character that I used to work with, and the guy came in and asked, like, how long is it going to be? He wasn't rude or anything. Well, this guy thought, well, you don't rush me. He's like, I'm going to make this guy wait. This is what he says. I went in there and I went in his office and I tore him a new one. I was like, look, this guy's feeding his family on miles he's putting down the road. I was like, you're not going to, because you feel slightly offended or whatever, you're not going to hold him up. It's like, get your ass out there and unload him.
Right. Get to a couple of these comments real quick. Insult investor. Hey there. Hey, Insult. How you doing tonight? Your neighbor's pissing you off? He made a video a couple of weeks ago. His neighbor like snapped on him. He was just out filming and his neighbor went off on him. Brian Harriet Grogo? Grago. Maybe that's what that name is. Grago. Thanks, Brian. That's a familiar name. Coming in here. How you doing, Brian? Grago says Mr. G might be easier. Yeah, I'm going with Mr. G. I'm not illiterate, but enunciation is not my strong suit. Mark M says it would save time and give drivers a workout if we could unload our trucks. Yeah, but you know what? I'm lazy, Mark. I I don't want to work out that much more.
Come on,
No,
man.
same here.
Gotta do some PT.
I do. Like, so I'm not old by any means, but like I've had some injuries due to hockey. And the one thing I've really focused on the older I've gotten is just my flexibility. You know what I mean? Like, I like to stretch. I like to feel like my knee is not hurting. I like my back not to hurt. I'm not big into lifting weights or doing any of that stuff anymore. And I think that's because growing up playing hockey at the level I played at, it was something that was forced on us. Kind of like, well, you probably love PT, but like I think about military people having to wake up early, like in the movies, like running miles and stuff. Eventually, you don't want to do that when you're not forced to. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I liked working out, and I was like, this is crazy. They're paying me to be fit and be a gym rat. So
Mark M says high low equals forklift. Brian Harriet at Mark. Thanks. I was wondering what high low was. DIY. What's a collection of horses? Yeah, okay. Insult investor. People in America honestly treat each other like crap all the time. When I came back from South Asia, I nearly got in several fights right off the bat versus everyone being nice and smiling over in Asia. Well, that's a cool what's the word? Like, you're probably right. You know what I mean? I've never gone back and forth to different countries, and I'm not, I'm not an my nationality is an American, you know what I mean? So I'm not a different nationality coming back and forth. That sucks. You shouldn't be treated like crap, no matter who you are. Um, he's saying hi, Dia. What's up, insult? Okay. Uh, insult investor. Well, okay, a lot, but I can't type it all. LOL. Okay. What a collection of horses. Okay, thanks, DIY. Just keep ripping on me more.
oh, look at that. I got the army shirt on.
Look at you. Hey, once again, thank you for your service. That's something, you know.
You know what? I never know what to say because it really was it. Like I was living a dream. Like since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a soldier, and it's like, when someone thanks me for my service, I'll feel like I feel like thank you, like thank you for your tax dollars for letting me go to the range and have the time of my life.
Yeah, but you also said you were deployed in Iraq.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not being at the country club.
yeah. That's part of the fun.
See, that's why this country needs people like you. You
I was in
thought,
Afghanistan too. That was a different level of fun.
yeah, well, DIY is calling us hosers, by the way. I thought it said horses at first, trying to read it from a distance.
Posers or posers?
Hosers. Hosers. He's just jealous. He's just jealous of the three new amigos that are better looking than him. Yeah, Killian's is saying thanks for your service. Yeah, you know what's funny is, you know, I've always had like that patriotic, like I live in a great country. Yeah, things are screwed up, but you know what? Like we're I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like I feel very fortunate to live where I live, and I'm grateful that there's men and women. Even though you say it was a dream and all that, for some people it's not. You know what I mean? Like I understand it's volunteer military, but sometimes that's some people's only choice to like get any skills. And the fact they're willing to do that just amazes me, because I could never do it.
Yeah, what's crazy is the people that come in that try to get their citizenship through the military. That's a hard way to get your citizenship. Um, I had one of my soldiers was in that category, and um, yeah, he kind of had some bad leadership at first, and it's kind of rough on some of those guys trying to do that. I really hand it to those guys
I
because
didn't know you
he,
could do that.
yeah, he came over to me. He was with this was in Afghanistan. He was in our Bravo company, and I was in headquarters company as a squad leader. And they were saying, "Oh, you're gonna get this new soldier. He's a real shitbag," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Hey, you let him come to me, and I'll determine if he's a shitbag or not." And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're just talking shit because like he's different nationality, kind of being racist, really." And she came over to me, and the guy just was like nose to the grindstone, wanting to know information about our job. I said, I have no problem with this soldier, and we worked out great. Ended up doing some very high priority missions together, and turned out great. And he's a United States citizen now.
That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, that blows my mind. The Insult Investor says Alonzo likes to play Call of Duty in real life.
How we're playing Call of Duty over there, like waiting for fire missions.
Oh, that's
Playing we'd be sitting there playing what was that, the Nazi
oh
zombies.
zombies. Yeah, zombies.
Yeah, we're getting down on some Nazi zombies,
Yeah.
waiting for fire missions. We'd hear rockets come in, and we'd pause it for a second. We're like, wait a second, listen for the radios. Nothing. Go back to playing Nazi zombies.
That's crazy.
And then you'd hear across the radio, fire mission, fire mission. And then you pause and you're like, all right, time to go do our jobs. Put warheads on foreheads.
Brian Harriet says, something tells me don't F with Alonzo. LOL. ISX Cummings 565. Thanks for stopping in. He's got a channel too. Everybody go check him out. He's laughing at that comment. This country is screwed. Mark, hold on here. I want to proofread this. Oh, sorry. Mark M, this country is screwed up, but there aren't many other places on earth any better than this. So I agree with that. But it's also the only country I've ever lived in. You know what I mean? And based on what I see and have read over my years, yeah, I'm very fortunate to live in this country. Killians agrees with that. Mark says, so we might as well enjoy it. Yep. Mr. G said Germans are right now discovering with a war in their front yard. You need military to protect your country. Huh?
Yeah, I heard those boys were donating some weapons to the Ukrainians.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good.
They need it.
They need it. And you know what? So I'm not a smart enough human being or like a political human being or anything like that. But talk about people like average citizens showing up and taking on the Russian freaking military. That is the, I don't mean to bring light to the situation. That is badass. Like, talk about patriotism. Talk about like strong-willed Ukrainian people. Unfucking believable that a normal citizen would go and pick up a gun and take on the Russian military. Like, that's remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true true patriotism right there. They love their country so much that even without any training, they're gonna pick up arms and they're gonna take it to the enemy.
This is a great question. How difficult would that be for a citizen to do something like that? Because like you're trained in combat. We don't know anything about combat. How long would it take? Let's say we had to do that. I pick up arms. Somehow I run into you. How long would it take you to train me on how to be like a skilled fighter in a moment of need?
Well, I could probably teach your first and second battle drills probably within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And be fairly proficient. But yeah, those those guys are they basically had the time that the Russians have been sitting on the border to get trained up. And I know there's I don't know if you follow like the guys from the Black Rifle Coffee Company, Coffee
yeah.
or Die. They've been tracking some Americans that have went over there and some Iraq and Afghan war vets, and they're training some of those guys how to fight. And
Really?
I knew there would be. And I know my brothers, you know, and I like if I didn't have young kids right now, I'd be over there fighting right alongside them too. Like have
That's
war will
crazy.
travel.
That's crazy to think. It's crazy to think. Nomadic Brit says, Scott, take a trip with your family to the UK. I would love to do that, Nomadic. I obviously I would love to bring my kids. First and foremost, I have to bring my wife. My wife has been to Germany as well, like I was, and we both talk about someday wanting to go back there. We both loved it over there. I've never been to the UK. I would love to bring her over there. An insult investor says, no, Nazi army group sanctioned by the government. That army. Oh, I know. I didn't know that, and I don't know if I want to read it. I'm sorry, insult investor. I just think anytime, I don't know. I don't want to get political. I'm not a war, like, war at times is necessary. I get it.
Yeah.
But war is not, in my opinion, I understand people can get very rich off of war, but I don't think anybody ever really wants to go to war. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't know.
Myself, I just don't like to see anyone get bullied, and that's what I see happening over there right now, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
I think Putin wants the old USSR back.
Oh,
So,
he's made no beans about it. He's come right out and said it.
well, yeah. And I think
Ukraine is what, a jumping off point to about at least half a dozen other countries.
Yeah, you got Poland, Romania, Lithuania. Yeah,
well,
there's a few more.
I mean, like I said, I'm just basing this comment off of what I learned in high school. That kind of happened over in Europe at one time, not that long ago, where a dictator wanted to rule the world and almost achieved it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That happened one time, and that's, you know, we learn about the outcome of that in school these days. And I don't think anybody wants anything like that to ever happen again. I think it'd be a completely different deal, you know. That scares the hell out of me, you know.
Well, and that's I think why you got to be so diligent about paying. You know, you got to be so aware of what's going on in the world, because when you have freedom, there's always going to be somebody there that wants to take it. And a lot of people don't realize that, and that's the honest to God truth.
Well, and sometimes there's people that need, I don't think I'm going to say the wrong thing. Like, sometimes you do need a world police, and I'm not saying that needs to be us, but sometimes there are people, and I do believe there's people that are under the thumb of a government that need help. And I'm not saying that needs to be us all the time, but you know, that's humanity. People should help people. I mean, that's freaking humanity.
And that's really what NATO is for.
Yeah. Nomadic Brit says the news in the last few hours is a nuclear plant in Ukraine has been hit and smoke is right. That's not because they took control of what's the big Chernobyl. Russia took control of Chernobyl, didn't they?
Yeah, they took control of that. I mean, it's already a nuclear disaster. I don't see the strategic value in that.
Mr. G says military is like firefighters. No one likes them being active, but it's good to have them. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they call it the elephant's foot in Chernobyl. It's going to remain radioactive for about the next 100,000 years.
Oh yeah, it's still active. Their tanks are active, not like they're full of radiation and like, yeah. I've watched documentaries on Chernobyl. Pretty cool thing.
They're really putting their the troops that are occupying that. They're putting them in serious danger.
Yeah, I don't know what
kids are going to have arms growing out of their backs.
I know the levels, like on the actual like city part, have diminished a lot. When you get close to the reactors, that's when the levels are spiking. Still to this day.
I'm sure.
Insult Investor says we need aliens to come down and say, "Look, stop, or we will zap you." Yeah, that's probably that probably would work. Some sort of like beam of light or something. Okay, Insult Investor says the strategic value of Chernobyl is that you can make dirty bombs from the leftover materials. Okay, that makes sense. They're very
dirty bombs. Ionizing gamma radiation.
I don't know if I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Putting down.
That's a good one too. That's a good one too. Yeah, see, when it comes to this stuff, I stay away, not because, well, yeah, it's because I don't, and I'm not like saying a political side here. I think a lot of people would be surprised at where I sit politically. But I don't follow mainstream news. I kind of take in a lot of things and kind of try and come up with my own opinion because I think that's a good thing to do. But, but just because I have my opinion doesn't mean it's right at all. And I'm smart enough to know that. Like I'm a freaking idiot when it comes to politics and stuff like that.
But it sounds like you think outside the box, which is a good thing.
If nobody has learned anything over the last the last 2 years, we should think outside the box. Yeah. We should. And once again, I need to be careful. We should think out of the box. And I have learned that over the last couple of years. I've woken up to like what I deem necessary for like my own like survival, you know what I mean? Like I don't believe being forced into doing anything and then saying you're going to lose your job over that is the right approach to anything. So it made me think, hey, I should really research things more on my own and develop my own opinion.
For sure. I listened to this news show on YouTube. They have like a male and female contributor or newscasters. That the one one lady's like a lefty, and the dude's like a right. He's a conservative, and they both have to like if there's something screwed up that like the right has done that uh, the guy that is the conservative has to speak on that,
Yep.
and vice versa. I, I think that's pretty awesome that they hold their own side accountable.
Yeah, no, and I think that's important. And here's the only thing I would say is if we want to move forward as a country, as a society, we need to be open to all points of view. Doesn't mean we need to agree on them, but we at least need to be open. We need to have communication. Without communication and canceling people's opinions, we are effing doomed. Bottom line. And like I said, if I really shared my political beliefs, a lot of you would probably be surprised. But if I'm sitting on the left, I need to listen to what the right has to say and come to a common goal. If I sit on the right, I need to listen to the left and come to a common goal instead of always attacking each other. You don't that's no we teach our kids not to do that. We teach our kids to be open-minded, to like
Absolutely.
follow directions and be respectful. And then you turn the news on and all everybody is doing is disrespecting one another. What are we teaching our society? We're teaching them to hate each other. When
Why I don't watch the news for the most part, it's brain rot.
yeah, I kind of agree with that.
And I think that's why a lot of us have stopped watching the mainstream media, is because they constantly just sell hate and fear, and you just get sick of it.
Yeah. Well, and with today's news cycle being almost instantaneous and 24/7, some people just sit there and they watch and they watch, and it's the same message repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah, you know, you don't hear any of the feel good stories anymore. It seems like those are gone in the mainstream media anymore.
Yep.
That's why I watch Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue.
My mom got me addicted to it.
You know, I started watching. One of my friends watches Oak Island, that treasure hunter show, and I started watching that, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I want him to find these treasures because that like brings out the kid in me. Like, you want to find.
Yeah, the explorer.
Yeah, you know. Oh shoot, sorry, it might be loud. My APU just kicked on. I'm probably gonna start vibrating. I shouldn't have said that. Nomadic Brit says Ukraine says nuclear plant is definitely on fire, and countries are monitoring closely because of a potential leak. Oh my god!
Yeah, I love how like they'll say like things that don't really matter. Well, we're monitoring the situation. Well, what are you going to do about it? Well, nothing. But we're monitoring it. What are you going to do about Ukraine's lack of weapons? Well, we're going to sanction the Russians. And like, I don't know about you. Like, have you ever like? I'm kind of a hunter, so like, I haven't went out and sanctioned the deer into starving to death and then collected their carcass.
See, I don't know.
Just never seems to work.
I don't know enough about that to like. I don't even know what the sanctions do. I mean,
it would be like me if we're putting it into hunting terms. I would be like cutting down the trees and taking away the acorns, taking away their food, and hopefully, in a long period of time, that deer might die.
So if that's what a sanction is, I would say I don't agree with that. I don't believe in starving a whole country because I don't believe the whole country is to blame for
no,
things.
I'm sure their people are awesome people. Like I know some Chinese people like that are just great people, but you know, I don't agree with their government.
Oh, I agree with that statement too.
You know, I don't agree with the Russian government, but I'm sure their people, their everyday civilians are awesome people.
Right.
And by sanctioning basically what you're doing is you're making the civilians suffer.
Oh yeah, you know the
You're
political
making the
class
oligarchs
suffered.
hurt. You're making the oligarchs and the government hurt too. But I mean, yeah,
Sorry.
it's tricky.
I just had a comment come up that I know I've missed a lot here, but the Insult Investor says, I've been looking for a nice boat. I hear we can seize Russian boats now. Can you say I'm not tempted? Oligarchs have all left the country. Oh, wow.
Oligarchs
Yeah.
have all left the country. Where are they
Yeah.
at? Miami?
That's what Brian Harriet said. But, you know, guys, I've been on here for 2 hours and 25 minutes. I think I'm going to get off. And plus, it's going down a road that I'm so not ready to go down. And I mean, no disrespect. We did it to ourselves. It's
yeah,
just
we really did.
I will literally put my foot in my mouth because I'm an idiot when it comes to all this. And I at least am smart enough to say I'm an idiot and don't have the answers to fix the world. But Kelly, thank you for stopping in here. I hope your dream of getting married one day happens. I hope you really enjoy your job. And if you want to become an owner operator, stick to it. And actually, Alonzo is the proof of that, because it wasn't that long ago that I remember him talking about doing exactly what he's doing right now. Yeah, Mark, we're way off topic.
Yeah.
Anyways,
way
Alonzo,
to pump the brakes on this conversation, though.
Yeah. Alonzo, thank you so much. A, for your service. B, coming in here and sharing your story. We need to collaborate and talk about how you got to where you are in a short amount of time, maybe make a video on it, or you do it yourself, because I think you have a lot to offer the men and women that serve our country, and how you want to operate your business of hiring veterans is awesome. I know there's lots of veterans out there that come back and probably feel lost. And if they can have a leader like you help them get their foot in the door and started, you're continuing that brotherhood that you talked so highly about earlier tonight. So yeah, thank you both for stopping in here. Stay safe. Stay safe. And until next time, you know what it is. What finger do I use? This one. Yeah. Keep on trucking. Good night, guys.
Adios.